Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, brothers and sisters all over the world. Whichever part of the day this message finds you, all over the world. And yes, I am talking to each and every one of you, all over the world. Habari za asubuhi, habari za mchana, habari jioni. Brothers and sisters, the name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. Welcome to another broadcast of The Night Chat. Okay, brothers and sisters, tonight, just had to talk to you about something that I saw, and struck me as kind of peculiar. I told you we're going to talk about on this broadcast things that happen in the world, various subjects and topics, but see if we can't look at them from an African perspective, an African consciousness, an African way of looking at things, and see how that thing that we're talking about affects us economically. If there's an economic impact, negative or positive, we're going to talk about it, all right? Okay. Now, I just want to talk to you a little bit about an interesting video I saw as I was looking on the YouTube world of videos, and I ran across a video by this gentleman, Larry Elders, and he was talking about how I think he was saying, Brother Denzel Washington is the only actor who speaking out and got it right about racism. Okay. He said that, and so that struck me as kind of interesting. So I listened to it, a little bit of it. I listened to the comments that I think in the video, Brother Denzel was making comments about racism, and he was saying something to the effect of, and I'm not quoting, I can't remember exactly, so I'm just kind of paraphrasing what I remember. You can look it up, so I want you to be aware that I don't remember exactly what he said, but it said something that it's a system that don't know what he said. No, careful, be careful. What he said was, don't blame the system. It's not the system. Something to that effect. You can look it up. But that, the issue, one of the issues, is that, you got little boys, no daddy at home. So look the article up, because I want you to, you see it yourself. It's there, Larry Elders interview, something like that. And then in another interview, I think the brother said something to the effect of, that he gives an example of, I think, a little boy. He was a young boy. He had maybe shot somebody or something like that, All right, so let me talk a little bit about that. There are some people who generally believe that, now I'm not dealing with the situation anymore with good brother Denzel. You can talk to him, maybe you guys can watch a movie or something and get an idea of what he's saying. But now I'm just going to speak, this is me. It has nothing to do with them. I just want to kind of touch on something, because there's some other celebrities who they speak similarly. I think, remember some time ago, Bill Cosby said something, they asked him something, he said, the problem is not racism or anything like that, or a system, or it's not a group of people trying to do something bad to black people. It's the gun, something like that. And again, you look it up. I don't get off into that. Generally, that was the gist of it. You look it up. Feel free to do that. I hope that you do. But let's just now move away from him, move away from Brother Washington. And we got two examples of people generally saying that it's not really a system that's working to cause harm to black African people. It's not really that. But it's more maybe something we're doing as people, individuals. All right, so now we're going to move away from Brother Cosby. Okay, we're going to move away from him. And there are others. Okay, so let's kind of get to, is there a system? Is there a system working against the interests, the good interests of brothers and sisters who look like me and you? Okay, all right, so check this out. Let's say, don't blame the system because, you know, your daddy isn't at home. Okay. Do you guys remember there was a social welfare system? Social welfare system in the United States with rules, regulations, and policies that stated that the man couldn't be in the home. Do you remember that? Look it up. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm making a mistake here, because it's a social welfare system. Social welfare system. Governmental system. The government itself is a system. Okay. Now, okay, well then if you say that, you know, the government had to do that because they weren't working and they weren't taking care of their children. Okay. When they got brothers and sisters, if slavery is real, I don't know, it tells so many lies, I just don't really know. But let's just say if slavery was real, and let's say something like that actually happened, there was a legal system in place with laws, rules, regulations designed to prevent freed African people from gaining full employment. Now, be careful, understand what I said. I didn't say there were 10, 12 individuals who worked by themselves to stop Africans who were recently freed from getting jobs. I didn't say that. I said there was a legal system. Now, you don't have to take my word for it because the laws, rules, regulations, they're still there for you to go see, to go read. You don't have to take my word for it. They're there. Right now, there is the penal system. So when you talk about, okay, let's say 3 strikes you're out. Some regulations, some rules, political system that brought about these policies back in the 90s. Now, political system, it's a system, an organized way of managing individuals, okay? So, let's take, for example, there was a young man who had some children, and he was young. So, let's say 17. He's doing what's natural for him to do. He has a desire to interact with the woman, and they end up having a child. And so this young man, in a system of the economic system, capitalism, it is an economic system. I think. They call it a system, right? An economic system? I think that's what they call it, an economic system. Okay. All right, so in this economic, I know there are no systems. I understand that. So, but just for the sake of the argument, we just gonna call it an economic system. Okay. In this economic system, I recall there was legislation and rules passed many years ago. I think these people who were talking about these non-system things, I think they were alive during this time. There's a thing called affirmative action, which came out of the political system in the United States. Legal. Now, I'm not sure, but legal system that said, okay, we're trying to help the good brothers and sisters of America. We're trying to help them. Okay, so we're going to put this affirmative action system in place. And in this affirmative action system, we're going to require that employers from the capitalist system, that is what they operate there, right? The capitalist system. Capitalism, a system, not socialism, not communism, not whatever other ism. But if it was some other ism, it's an ism that is a part of an economic system. Okay? Okay, so the affirmative action system, which said, okay, we're here to help the good brothers and sisters of America because they need help getting jobs. Now, the reason they need help getting jobs, back then, there were jobs. But the reason these people needed help getting jobs is because there was a system in place to prevent them from working. And so a system was created to circumvent the system, which is helping them, stopping them from getting jobs. So this affirmative action system, which is a part of the political system, which is a part of the economic system, that said we're going to require that employers in the capitalist system, in the American system, legal system, the American legal system, that they must, for every 100 employees, hire 15% black people, African people. And the only reason we have to do that, again, because we're trying to help the people. Okay. We're trying to help the African people. So we're gonna force the employers. Force them, because then the only reason we have to force them is because they're not doing it. So we have to force them to do it. Okay? All right, so we got to force them. Obviously, that means that they're not doing it. But we're going to force them. Okay, now all that sounds real good. We're going to force them to hire for every 100. We're going to hire 15. 15 of the 85. It's 85 of them that work. But we're gonna say 15. Okay, now cool. I understand that. Those people, they're smart people. They understand. They have to take care of home first. They got to take care of themselves. No problem. But you do remember when I first started this talk, I talked to you a little bit about the Reconstruction. Reconstruction. The laws that were of the political system at that time, the legal system at that time, and how that Reconstruction, all those laws, were really designed not to help the good African brothers and sisters who were just freed. Because remember, they wanted to help them by freeing them. But then this legal system then prevented that, circumvented that, created barriers to that. Now that was, what, 150 years ago? 200 years? Whatever, it don't matter. Okay, now that's back then. Now, I was a kid back in the, what, 70s? 70s? Okay. So 1865 or something. 1965. 100 years. Mia Moja. Right? You still have this political system, this legal system preventing barriers. Now remember, in the example I just told you, it's a young boy. He just had, he's 17, got a baby, but he can't get a job. And I'm not making that up. This is the history these people have put out there. So the affirmative action said, we're trying to help you, so 15 people. You got to hire them, 15 people. Now, we're going to talk later about propaganda, but I'm going to give you a taste of it right now. You see, the presentation of that material, we want to help you, so employers were making you hire 15 of these people. It sounds like the people who putting forth that legislation really have your best interest at heart, because they're saying you got to hire these people, and we're trying to help these people. Propaganda. Propaganda, a way of presenting information so that you look like hero. Come to save you, come to help you. But you know there's another side of that. But they never mention this part of it. Do you understand? If I tell you that you have to hire 15 people, what I'm telling you is all you have to hire is 15. And if you're reading the information properly, because you really didn't want to hire 15, remember? That's why we had to put the legislation in to force you, and also to keep them quiet, because we got to do something for them, because there's too many of them. If we don't hire them at all, then we're going to have other problems we got to deal with. It's going to end up costing us money and all of this, and so we got to do something. So you see the switch? Not you hire 15 because we want you in good. No, you only have to hire 15. That's it. Don't hire any more than that. Only 15. And if you do that, we'll give you these tax incentives of this, and we won't bother you. Do you understand? Now you got one action. One action. The policy created by the political system, using its other wing, the legal system, to put together a program designed to make you and me and people who look like you and me think this system is here to help us. Now that's the presentation of the material. But then when it's perceived, perception, interpretation, the same information can be presented to all people and have different perceptions and interpretations by each group. So the dominant group, W's, the dominant group sees that, hey man, look, just go on and hire 15 of these people. That's all you got to hire is 15 of them. That's it. That's all you got to do. I know. Just, man, look, just do it, okay? All right. Okay, man. Now. Okay? Now. Remember, I told you these people are very sophisticated in their approach. All right? Same information, two different perceptions. Now, let's add the next component. Because remember, that 17-year-old boy that just had the kid, he had the kid, he couldn't get the job. So he couldn't work. It was very difficult. Then if you pay him minimum wage. Okay, so he's not making enough money. Now the woman, she wants money. She needs money. So she says, well, okay. Well, what I'm going to do, got to get some of that. What I'm going to do, I need some money. I can go to this social welfare system. Or is that, no, Yeah, no, that's a system too. Yeah, it's a system. That social welfare system she goes to for help, and that's when they tell her, guess what? We'll help you. Have no problem. We're happy. We're here to help you, but you can't have a dude in the house now. We can't help both of you. We'll help you and the children, but we can't help both of you now. So tell him he's got to go. And you know where he is, because we need to find him. We want to talk to him, because the money we're paying you, he's going to have to pay us for that. Okay, all right. So now she says, well, I need the money. Okay, so, all right, look, I don't know where he is, because she loves him. She's trying to be a hero for him. She's trying to support him. I don't know where he is, but let me get this help. Hey, no problem. You don't have to tell us where he is. That's okay. We got enough information. We know we'll find it. No problem. All right, so they start calculating this bill in this system. So now this young man, he has a big bill growing in this social welfare system. Okay. He's not in the home because the social welfare system said you can't be there. Okay. Now, he's not making enough money, and now they're arresting him for child support. You understand? Child support. You will get arrested for child support. Lack of payment. Oh, he should have been paying. Well, okay, he's got a very, very challenging situation, because the what do you call the residential housing, he can't afford to pay the housing, the child support, he can't afford it. So this social system and this economic system, capitalism, is putting him in a very bad, difficult situation. So he's not at home with his child, and the child now has no father there. Now, the 17-year-old brother, he wanted to be there. He liked the woman. He liked his kids. He had no problem with that. Oh, no, not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them, they just want to be away. They don't care. Okay. All right, so you believe that some of them, or all of them, you might be one of the people say all of them. All of them, they don't want to be there with their kids. They don't love their kids. That's what you believe? Nah. But let's assume you're right. Let's assume that the majority of them, they don't want to be there. Okay. The entertainment industry. Now keep in mind, industry is a system, brother, sister. It's a system. It's not one or two people. No, they have an organization. What? Some of you actors and singers, you people are in a system, a union. In fact, I only believe you can act on TV on screen like that unless you have a union card. You participate in the system, an organized way of keeping track of, right? Okay, system. All right, well, this system produced entertainment that helped make, in our example, this 17-year-old boy, help put in his mind certain values and morals. Of course, maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you think he just makes it up on his own. Society is over there. The films that you make and the records that you make and all of these things, they don't have any impact on the children, on the minds of the adults. So, but let's just assume that, for the sake of argument, that the videos did have some impact. The movies, they had some impact since you say that he's supposed to be doing it on his own. Everybody, they just told many of them they don't even want to do it. Well, let me explain to you. Remember the black exploitation period? That's what they called it. I didn't call it. That's what they called it. Black exploitation. Do you hear that? Black exploitation produced phraseology, whatever, out of the media in the social system. So they produce these series of films that feature, highlight, promote images of our African-American men being pimps in the 70s and, you know, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster link. Remember all that? So you get a boy growing up, he watching this, he think, well, let me try to do that to make some money. That looks cool. Then in the 80s, you know, in the 80s and 90s, you know, you got the drugs. Being a gangster. Gangster, you know. We didn't do that. We didn't make that up. We didn't say that that's what we wanted. Nobody knocked on your door and came to you and said, okay, I'm Nielsen Ratings. What do you want it to be? You want it to be gangster? What do you want to be called? You want to be love? What do you want it to call you? What do you want to call it? They didn't do that. And the people in the television industry, record industry, movie industry, systems came up with these strategies, these images that they were going to promote. So, no, brother, we don't have a bunch of, and sister, we don't have brothers and sisters just out here and they're the cause of their problems only. They're the individuals and they created this whole situation. If they would only just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. This ain't a movie, bro. It's not a movie. It's not a record. It's not a video. No, there are a group of people out here. There are a group of people out here, brother, who have intentions that are not good for people that look like you and me and our children and all the family values that they come before us and tell us on these little 30-second spots will not change the overwhelming number of images that they put on television, radio, magazine, print, movies. They're creating individuals through their various media. Many of you participate in that. I once did. You understand? That's like you haven't you noticed, man, let me tell you something, man. You drive down the street, you tell people they can't drink and drive, and then you put alcohol in the gas station. Then you drive down the street, you kill somebody, and they arrest you and blame you. So, listen, I'm gonna end it here, but I just want you to know something, people, brothers and sisters. I'm not playing. This is not. Start thinking. These people, through propaganda, have tools in their toolbox, and some of these tools in the toolbox are individuals, okay, that they roll out in front of you to be the beacons of inspiration, who can profess all of these words of wisdom. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. All you people who believe when certain people come before you and tell you they have all this wealth and money and power, and they have all this wisdom about how to obtain wealth, money, and power, but they can't seem to come together with all this wealth, money, and power to do anything to change the condition of our children and our babies in these neighborhoods. Let me understand something. If you got a person and they got 100 million. 100 million. If they gave you, not you as an individual, you as a collective group of people, a society, 70 million. And they don't even have to give it to you. Not directly. I'm talking about give it to you for the purpose of benefiting the society. And they kept 30 million. They're still working. They're still accruing money. But they said all of the entrepreneurs in the neighborhood, all the businessmen, all the people who have an idea, all of the inventors, all of the craftsmen, the artisans, all of these people, we're going to come together and we're going to put together think tanks all over the country. All in all the neighborhoods where the good brothers and sisters are. Because remember, what I'm saying can't be wrong, because I'm just saying let's help ourselves. And everybody's saying, y'all got to help yourself. You got to do it yourself. You got to do it. Okay. But you can give up 30 million. You're not going to lose your Bentley, your yacht, your mansion. You're not going to lose. You got 30 million and you're still making money. But you can't seem to reach that logical conclusion. You can't do it. You can't do it. Okay. Then don't come to telling me that you have the answer to society's problems when you can take action to help the people and you don't. So what are we pretending for? I don't pretend anymore. Too old for that. And young people, I'm talking to you. Parents, go tell your children, the young boys, young men and women, 25, 30, listen to me. Don't be fooled by these people who look like me and you, who want to tell you because they're a part of the entertainment system that the problems and conditions we face as people are the result of our own undoing without any contribution from people who don't look like me and you. That person talking to you like that, check out some of my other videos that you'll know what they are. You understand me? Don't do that anymore. Because it's very easy. We struggle because we don't have the capital means. Capitalism, we don't have the capital. And they're not going to give it to you. I don't care what they say. They're going to give it to those individuals who are going to say those things that they want them to say. And who keep their money wrapped up tight. Listen, you can live a comfortable life with 10 million. I don't have 10 million. No, I'm talking about the people. All of these people run around telling you all this stuff. 100 million. Now, before I let you go, just know if someone tells you I'm bitter. No, I'm not bitter. Nothing like that. Far from it. After you live through this system for so long, and you get the right education, the right information, then you begin to see clearly the lies, the falsification of your consciousness, your mind. You begin to see it clearly. And as you age, you begin to lose patience with the lies. There's a letter, and I'm not promoting this, brother. Don't misunderstand that. But you can get information from everywhere. But Martin Luther King Jr. wrote a letter. It's a letter from the Birmingham jail, I think. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's not real long. So I had a brother tell me there's a book. The book might have been, this thick. That brother said, I couldn't read that book. I said, you got the book? Did you read it? No, it's a big book. Big book. I think that book might have been, 250 pages. Nah, that's not a big book, brother. It's not a big book. But anyway, letter from the Birmingham jail. Get and read it. He tells you why we can't wait. He tells you why we can't wait. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for watching Uhuru. It's very important that we're very careful. These people are going to roll out in front of you. People from each area of their entertainment apparatus, their entertainment system, who promote the ideas and values that they want you to believe, so that you follow those ideas and values and morals, because the person who presented it to you is someone that you like, that you want to follow. And so they have the ability to persuade you. You understand? Okay. All right. Don't do that. Think. Be rational. Be reasonable. This approach is systemic itself, of rolling these various celebrities out to you. And if you don't believe me, go back 100 years. 100 years is always a good amount of time for you to go through decade, all the way up to the present time. And then you'll be able to see clearly the patterns, because you'll see them repeat themselves over and over again. Okay? All right. I love you all. I do. I do. Wait. The reason I laugh is because I remember talking to my children like that. I remember telling them that when they were little bitty babies. And yeah, I love my kids. But like I said, all of the kids over the world, they're my kids. I love them. And you gotta love them. And we have to love them enough that we tell them the truth. Because we got a very serious situation on our hands. It's a very serious situation. And to keep acting like it doesn't exist is much like I was telling you in a previous video. They take a frog. You got a pot of boiling water. You drop the frog in it, the frog can go bloop and jump out. This is just an example of a story they tell. The point of it is that if you put the frog in hot boiling water, the frog can react quickly, decisively, and prevent himself from entering into danger by jumping out of the pot and water, because the frog has web on his feet. But if you take the frog and you put the frog in the pot first with cool, comfortable water, and you turn the heat up slowly and slowly and slowly, the frog is comfortable, flapping around, having a good time, enjoying the entertainment. And then eventually, before the frog knows it, by the end of the movie, the frog is boiled to death. All right? So, I love you all. Mosquitoes are out here. Remember, night chat. Uhuru. Uhuru.